her eyes fixed on the screen. Her black hair fell in ordered blades on her face. Sometimes, when the light flashed, I could see the determination in his eyes. We shared laughter, tears, secrets. We had seen friends and family, and now, here we were, more united by the need to survive. My thoughts turned to a more dangerous place. What if there weren't those maniacs who looked like zombies? What would that mean to us? For Misha? The idea of losing her scared me more than any nightmare creature out there. But I couldn't afford to lose my focus. My first priority was with Misha. We had been trapped in an office building, surrounded by screams and clutches. I promised myself I'd protect her. And now, with her safe, I got up. I opened the door cautiously. The man was backed against the frame, his pale skin and glassy eyes. His clothes were scratched, stained with dry blood. He didn't look like a zombie, but that meant nothing. Misha and I exchanged gazes. Should we help him? Or should we stay safe? The decision was in our hands. The clock continued to move forward, and the outside had become a dangerous place, far less dangerous than it was every day. But here, we had a chance to change things. What would we do? What would we sacrifice for survival? The clock continued to mark the time, and we too were facing a dilemma. Decisions are yet to be made. Misha and I share a look, filled with uncertainty, but also with determination. We opened the door cautiously, and the neighbor rolled in. His pale skin and glassy eyes were a testimony to the horrors he had faced. "How are you?" I asked without realizing that I said a stupid thing, but nobody seemed to notice it, trying to assess his condition. His breathing was irregular, and his gaze wandered through the room. He didn't seem intoxicated nor maniac, but rather in fear and despair. Misha, always alert, looked at him more closely. "How did you get here?" he asked in a loud voice. The man whispered some inconsistent words, but we understood that he had been wandering alone since the night before. He had lost his family and didn't know where to go. We knew we couldn't risk our security without more. Misha leaned toward the chair next to the window. "Sit down," he said. "Let's talk." The man fell on the chair, his eyes still full of fear. We offered him a glass of water. While he was drinking, Misha and I exchanged gazes. Could we trust him? Or were we opening the door to an enemy? "What is your name?" I asked. The man twisted before answering. "Santiago," he said. "I am a doctor." His trembling voice revealed the tension he carried with him. "Mientras yo te lleva la idea de pegar un tiro. Por ahora." Misha leaned toward me. "We have to help him," he whispered. I agreed. Santiago could be a valuable resource, but also a risk. The decision was not easy. The clock kept moving. We, two connected souls, faced a dilemma. Would we open our doors to hope, or would we close the way to a potential danger? "How did you survive?" I asked him to evaluate his experience. His trembling voice revealed the tension he carried with him. Misha watched him carefully. Santiago drank a bite of water before answering. "I hid in a hospital office," he said. "But also fight against zombies." Her eyes were clouded for a moment, as if she were reviving painful memories. "I have seen terrible things. People turned into monsters, and others simply missing." Misha cried. "How did you manage to keep yourself safe?" he asked, thinking of taking some advice for us. James looked around as if he was afraid that the walls could hear. "Be careful," he said loudly. "Observe, listen. Don't trust anything at first sight. The living can be more dangerous than the resurrected." His words resounded in the room. We listened carefully. The clock kept moving. The city was a maze of danger and despair. Jair and his family, like many others, struggled to survive in the middle of chaos, and the need to escape became inevitable. Jair, with his wife Elena and his young daughter Sophia, acted with practical sense. The streets were plagued with zombies, while the police officers in office were only trying to contain overcrowded situations, and shops were being looted. The decision to leave his home was painful but necessary. Misha, my friendwithrights, Santiago, the doctor, joined us. His knowledge could be vital to our survival, but he also brought his own demons with him, and we met at a previously agreed meeting point, a small park on the outskirts of the city. We meet with Jair and his family. to Misha, I saw her relaxed, with her looking determined and my weapon ready. Santiago, with his stained coat and eyes full of pain. We hugged each other as if we were old friends. But we weren't friends. We were survivors, united by the need to protect each other. The farm of one of Jaire's relatives in the countryside became our refuge. Kilometers of fertile soil, surrounded by trees and silence. Here, we could grow food, purify water and, fortunately, find a breath in the middle of the chaos of the infected. The country house was in ruins, but hope shone in our eyes. Santiago took care of the chickens, while Misha and I strengthened the defenses, thanks to the skills inherited from his father and my little memories to install simple wartime traps, while my head generated possible projects to generate biogas and electricity. I was giving lessons on those things that nobody cares. Jaire's wife took care of the kitchen and he began to examine the land for cultivation. The night came dark and full of uncertainty. But we remained united. Souls in connection to survive. We survive. 23 hours and 59 minutes and a few seconds had passed. End of this book.